I have three very important news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian forces, Amhara regional forces have entered Sudan. Ethiopian government forces and Amhara regional forces are trying to take back Fashaga, Greater Fashaga and smaller Fashaga. Where did they enter and where is fighting going on now on Ethiopia Sudan border? We'll talk about that. This development has come at a time when there is political instability in Sudan on the rise. Sudanese military says that Ethiopian government is trying to take advantage of political instability in Sudan. We'll talk about that. Secondly, viewers, heavy airstrikes have been conducted by Ethiopian Air Force near Kobo and Lalibela. Heavy fighting is going on near Kobo to the east of Kobo. We'll talk about that. But thirdly, Oromo Liberation Army has done some recruitments as well. Everyone is recruiting. Every group in Ethiopia is making recruitments. We have seen Tigray Defense Force, Amhara Regional Force, Ethiopian National Defense Force. All regions, groups are recruiting youth in large numbers. OLA is no exception. Today, OLA shared some videos showing newly recruited OLA fighters. We'll talk about that. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian government forces, Amhara regional forces have entered Sudan. Barakat is the area on Sudan-Ethiopia border where reportedly Ethiopian forces have launched an attack. This place, Barakat, is opposite to Abdurrafe. Abdurrafe town is on Ethiopia-Sudan border. And Barakat is at a distance from Abdurrafe on Sudan side of the border. It means that Ethiopian forces have penetrated, they have entered Fashaga. Though Sudanese forces say they have repelled this attack, but on-ground sources are saying that fighting is still underway. Ethiopian government forces are deep into Sudan. Barakat is not on border, Ethiopia-Sudan border. It's at a distance from Sudan-Ethiopia border. It means that Ethiopian forces have managed to make gains on Sudanese soil. Viewers, Ethiopian government forces are taking advantage of political instability in Sudan, just like Sudanese forces took advantage of Tigray war. When Tigray war started in November, Sudanese forces took control of Fashaga al-Kubra, Fashaga al-Sugra, which were long-standing disputed territories between Ethiopia and Sudan. Ethiopian forces, Amhara forces, were preoccupied in Tigray. They could not launch a major offensive on Sudan, on Fashaga. Now, when there is instability in Sudan, in eastern Sudan, there are massive protests going on. So in this critical time, Ethiopian forces have launched this offensive. They are trying to take back as much of Fashaga as they can. Fighting is still underway. Meanwhile, massive protests in eastern Sudan still underway. Watch a video showing the enormity of protests in eastern Sudan. You see, viewers, that protests are massive. Airport in eastern Sudan is closed. Port Sudan is closed. Two major oil pipelines have been blocked by protesters. Last night, I briefed you in detail about these protests. Bija tribe is behind these protests. Bija tribe says that in last October, a peace deal was signed between Sudanese government and some rebel groups, and Bija tribe was not taken on board. Who is behind these protests? Some analysts are blaming Sudanese military because tensions rose between Sudanese military and Sudanese politicians after a failed coup a few days ago. But we don't know who is backing these protests, though fingers are being pointed towards Sudanese military. Political instability is there in eastern Sudan, viewers. That is why Ethiopian forces are trying to take advantage of this situation, just like Sudanese forces did in November when Ethiopian National Defense Force, Amhara Force, were preoccupied in Tigray, and Sudanese forces back then had retaken Fashagal, Cobra, Fashagal, Sura. Now Ethiopian forces are doing the same. They're trying to retake Fashagal. Let's see what happens. Secondly, we got Kobo and Lalibela. Heavy air strikes have been conducted by Ethiopian Air Force near Kobo and near Lalibela. In a video, I told you about Zobel Mountains, that from eastern side of Kobo town, Afar forces, Ethiopian National Defense Forces, are trying to move towards Kobo city. Reportedly, airstrikes have been conducted on Zobel to the east of Kobo city. ENDF, Ethiopian National Defense Force, is trying to move towards Kobo from Zobel Mountains, but Kobo is still under TDF, viewers. Same is the case with Lalibela, viewers, that Amhara forces, ENDF, have launched another offensive to take back Lalibela. Strikes have been conducted close to Lalibela as well. Some Amhara news sources say that in coming hours, Lalibela could be under Amhara control. No confirmation so far, viewers. Lalibela and Kobo both are under TDF control, but Ethiopian Air Force has started its operations. Reportedly, strikes were massive, viewers, and large number of casualties is being feared that these strikes targeted some TDF positions, and there might have been large number of casualties. Lastly, viewers, Oromo Liberation Army OLA has shared a video showing its newly recruited fighters. Each group and region in Ethiopia is conducting recruitments. We have seen Tigray Defense Force, Amhara Regional Force, Ethiopian National Defense Force, all are making recruitments. OLA is no exception. It has also conducted some massive recruitments. OLA has not made any strategic gains in Oromia so far after it stuck an alliance with TDF almost a month ago. While it could not take Negaliburana in southern Oromia, while it could not move towards Amhara-Oromia border because Amhara militias entered Oromia to push back Oromo Liberation Army. OLA is making some gains, but not very strategic gains in Oromia. Watch the video showing newly recruited OLA members. Thank you for watching.